Graduands, guests, colleagues, I declare this ceremony open. Please be seated. As Pro-Vice-Chancellor for Enterprise and Knowledge Exchange, I welcome you to this graduation ceremony for students from the Schools of Social Sciences and Animal, Rural and Environmental Sciences. I would also like to welcome the family and friends who are joining us from around the world via the NTU live stream. Welcome also to our honorary graduand, Louise Cook. It is a pleasure and a privilege to have you with us, and we look forward to hearing your thoughts a little later in the ceremony. Graduands, I want to begin by congratulating you on your achievements. Well done, and welcome back to NTU. Graduation is the pinnacle of the academic year, for us as much as you. It is a day when we come together to reflect on your academic accomplishments and all the incredible things that you have achieved throughout your NTU journey. Until recently, the COVID pandemic has denied us that opportunity, but we have always been committed to celebrating your success in person, and I am delighted that so many of you are here today. It is great to see you all again. As the class of 2021, you faced major challenges in the final 15 months of your time at NTU. You came through these challenges, however, showing resilience, resourcefulness, and adaptability. The pandemic has reiterated the reach and relevance of the NTU community, a community you will always be part of. It has re-emphasized the importance of connection and collaboration, of inclusion and innovation. Today is a reunion as well as a recognition of your graduation. Take the chance to renew friendships and acquaintances, because the stronger your network is, the stronger your future will be. I also want to recognize the doctoral students who will be coming across the stage today. A PhD is the highest level of academic study. In completing your doctorate with us, you have made a significant contribution to the university's research culture. For that, we thank you. No one completes this journey alone, however. I invite you now to remember those who have supported you along the way. Your families, friends, course mates, professional services staff, and academic tutors. Please join me in thanking them with a well-deserved round of applause. And that was great, thanks very much. And I hope the audience will reciprocate even, and when your loved ones come across, please make as much noise as you'd like to. These ceremonies give us an opportunity to reflect on the university's world-leading research, our commitment to ensuring our graduates are equipped for the world of work, and our ever-expanding network of international partnerships. Considering the challenges we have all faced since March 2020, I feel we must recognize today the culture and ethos that underpins the university's many successes. It is from this ethos that we have drawn strength and the maturity to prevail. The pandemic has reminded us of the importance of collaboration, and we need to tackle the challenges by working together. Innovation, inclusion, and expertise, these ideals are all ingrained in the university's DNA, and they have served us well in these unprecedented times. Every title and award is an endorsement of our beliefs, methods, and goals. But it is the day-to-day successes that we see in our classrooms, across our campuses and communities, that prove NTU's ability to to deliver on those ambitions. The School of Social Sciences exemplifies those ambitions. It does not have a single point of focus nor a defining discipline. Instead, it is a community comprising thousands of different voices and ambitions. It is made up of teachers, paramedics, and psychologists, of nurses, sociologists, and students of national and international politics. It is a school characterized and sustained by its diversity, but one whose members all share a common bond, a pressing need to improve society. The school believes in combining cutting-edge theory with hands-on practice. Graduates and postgraduates, as your careers progress, remember that those two things are not exclusive. They should work in tandem and inform each other. A practitioner, whether a police officer, forensic psychologist, or social worker, for example, can still theorize about their profession. This is how lasting, meaningful change can be delivered to individuals, families, and even entire communities. That is the philosophy of the School of Social Sciences, and one that reflects the duties of a modern university: to enrich, to empower, and to connect globally. Based on our Brackenhurst campus, the School of Animal, Rural, and Environmental Sciences is a community in the sincerest sense of the word, a family of ecologists, conservationists, geographers, food scientists, and biologists, all bound by the shared commitment to addressing the planet's most pressing environmental questions. Through excellent teaching and exceptional facilities, the school's focus is on learning how to learn. Its mission is to channel the natural passion of its students and to refine both their theoretical and practical skills. Its courses promote knowledge, creativity, and confidence, empowering graduates to deliver meaningful change throughout the world. The attitudes, research outputs, and teaching methods of these two schools reflect the duties of a modern university: to create opportunities to enrich and protect the world around us, to challenge current thinking, to develop new ideas and generate novel solutions, and to do this all connected on a truly global scale. Class of 2021, it is a pleasure to have you back on campus. I hope you enjoy today's ceremony. I now invite the Executive Dean, Sarah Owen, of the School of Social Sciences to read the names of today's graduands and the Deputy Pro-Chancellor to confer your degrees. Thank you very much.
I now invite the stewards to bring forward the first group of graduands. Deputy Pro-Chancellor, the following have qualified for awards from the School of Animal, Rural and Environmental Sciences. Gwendolyneth Chico Leon, whose research is on identification, geo-hydromorphological assessment, and the state of degradation of the southernmost blanket bogs in Europe. Alexandra Debrele, whose research is on the efficacy of xylo-oligosaccharides in supporting the gut health, oxidative status, and performance of broilers. Anne-Marie Stefanik, whose research is on debris-covered glaciers, assessing dynamics of European alpine and Nepalese Himalayan examples. Master of Research Degree in Endangered Species Recovery and Conservation, Natalie Bullock. Master of Research Degree in Equine Health and Welfare. The next student also receives the top MRes Student Award, Leah Barnett Trevorrow. Master of Science Degree in Animal Health and Welfare, Naomi Frost. Melissa Hughes. Master of Science Degree in Biodiversity Conservation, Zoe Gotard. Lauren Hook. David Judson. James Story. Chloe Walker. Jonathan Wild. Master of Science Degree in Endangered Species Recovery and Conservation, Miranda Robin Bowden Doyle. Samantha Broad. Yasmin Evans. Megan Hall. Rachel Miles. Nisha Moreno Hill. Carolyn Price. Charlotte Emily Rideout. The next student also receives the top MSc Student Award, Shannon Louise Watts. Master of Science Degree in Equine Performance, Health and Welfare, Charlotte Collo. Julie Dexter. Bachelor of Science Degree with Honours in Food Science and Technology, Abigail Davidson. Katerina Parikos. Deputy Pro-Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of awards to the graduates from the School of Animal, Rural and Environmental Sciences. Deputy Pro-Chancellor, the following have qualified for awards from the School of Social Sciences. Master of Arts Degree in Career Development, Chloe Eve Huber. Daniel Pickett. Vaidi Ranavea. Postgraduate Diploma in Career Development, Myra Mani Mutukurpen. Master of Arts degree in International Relations, Rhys Gibson. The next student also receives the prize for Best International Relations Student Performance, Mark Aidan Goulthorpe. Fatma Begum Karagluglu. Releboga Lewaninka. Henry Lodge. Multissa Mung. Samuel Plant. Thomas Woolstenholme. Chloe Doheny. Lara Fiat. Annette Sombach. Deputy Pro-Chancellor. That concludes the presentation of awards to the first group of graduates from the School of Social Sciences. I'm pleased to invite Alex Hillier to the stage to give the oration for our honorary graduate, Louise Cook, and to present her to the Deputy Pro-Chancellor to receive her award.
It is my pleasure and privilege to invite Louise Cook to come forward to receive an honorary doctorate at this afternoon's graduation. Louise was born and raised in Nottingham, attending Catholic schools in the city where she developed a love for foreign languages. Following a period of work after her A-levels and after the birth of her children, Angela and Matt, Louise enrolled at NTU to read for a bachelor's degree in modern European studies. Unfortunately, ill health in the family prevented her from completing her undergraduate studies, but she went on to retrain at New College, Nottingham to teach English as a foreign language, which she passed with distinction. During her time at NTU, she did take Spanish classes, which led to a lifelong obsession with the Spanish language and Hispanic culture. Louise then went on to teach English and Spanish as foreign languages at New College, before setting up her own business to teach languages to primary-age children and to train primary school teachers on how to speak and teach foreign languages. She also served for a decade as a school governor and went on to become an associate trainer of school governors for Nottinghamshire County Council. Louise's defining moments occurred, I believe, however, in 2012 and 2013. Firstly, Louise's son Matt, having spent his sixth form studies volunteering at their local food bank, would observe that families were asking for clothes and that there was nowhere to send them. Louise then volunteered with CAFOD in the favelas of Sao Paulo in Brazil. Here she saw a non-hierarchical, community-based model of charity which chimed with her own values and independent spirit, and she resolved to become involved with the local charitable sector on her return. However, following 3 life-threatening health scares within the space of 5 months, and still being reminded of the need for the provision of clothing for individuals at the food bank, Louise took the decision to establish Shareware, of which she is the founder and chief executive officer. Shareware is a UK-registered charity which provides emergency clothing, shoes and bedding to individuals experiencing poverty in the East Midlands and South Yorkshire. Since its formation in 2014, it has provided agency, protection and a route out of poverty for over 60,000 vulnerable individuals and their families. Shareware occupies a unique national position as the only clothing bank which operates on the same basis as Trussell Trust food banks, that is, through vouchers and referrals. From its humble beginnings, with Louise and a small number of friends working out of her local church, the organisation has grown to work from bases in Nottingham and Sheffield, across the East Midlands and South Yorkshire, employing 4 members of staff, over 50 volunteers and 9 trustees, who work with over 100 referral partners and serving in the last year alone some 20,000 clients. In achieving Shareware's mission of alleviating clothing poverty, Louise has stayed true to her own values of independence, community action, equality of opportunity, and respecting the dignity of the individual. As soon as you meet Louise, you cannot fail to be inspired by her passion, tenacity, and drive, characteristics seen in many successful leaders. The skills that many of these other leaders are often fortunate not to have to develop are those in managing and growing across all areas of business activity with scarce resources. In essence, achieving a lot with not very much, and this is something in which Louise has demonstrated an impressive track record. As a result of her work, Louise was profiled in the Guardian newspaper in 2016, the recipient of a One Nottingham Award in 2017 in recognition of her contribution to the City of Nottingham, and this year was recognised in the independent newspaper's Happier List for 2021 as one of 50 people nationally driving positive change. Today, building on her formative experiences as founder and chief executive of Shareware, Louise has led the development of a large charitable organisation which to date has provided support to tens of thousands, fulfilling its role as providing the space where clothing poverty meets clothing waste, both in alleviating clothing poverty and contributing to the circular economy by saving significant amounts of textiles from the waste stream. She further inspires people throughout the country to recognise clothing poverty as a critical social issue through her writing, influencing and public speaking, and has gained national recognition for her work. Baroness Warwick, it gives me great pleasure to present to you Louise Cook, being a person distinguished in eminence and by attainments for the conferment of the degree of Doctor of Business Administration honoris causa in recognition of her significant contribution to charitable business organisation. Now you can clap.
Thank you to Alex for those kind words, and what a joy it is for us all to be here today, isn't it, against all the odds. I know the fact that it's against all the odds makes it all the sweeter for you. I know it does for me, so I can only imagine how you and your families are feeling today, and that's really wonderful. So thank you again to Alex, and thank you to Baroness Warwick and NTU for bestowing this great honour on me today. It's an honour I'm still in shock about, to be honest, and in my opinion, it truly belongs to the over 100 people who, at various points in the last 8 years, have brought the ideas which my son Matt sowed into my head to fruition. Almost all of those people have been volunteers. They are a true testament to the voluntary and small charity sectors, which are too often underestimated and misunderstood in a world dominated by larger charitable organisations. But first and foremost, I would like to dedicate my award to my husband Steve and my children Angela and Matt, who were the very first to say yes to Shareware. Without them, Shareware wouldn't exist. Over 60,000 people would have gone without life-changing clothing, and I wouldn't be standing here today. I congratulate all of you, today's graduates, on your brilliant achievement, and I wish you every success in life. I hope, as you start the next chapter of your lives, you will learn to realise the power of simply saying yes. You are only here today because at some stage you said yes to NTU. My career path, and indeed my life, hasn't run a very predictable course, but everything I've managed to do with my life so far has come through my philosophy of saying yes to opportunities, or even just potential opportunities first, and then worrying how I'm going to achieve it afterwards. Also, through my philosophy of looking at challenges as opportunities. A shock diagnosis of breast cancer during the planning stages of Shareware looked like the biggest challenge of all. But the enforced time out of teaching that it meant gave me time to fine-tune and develop my ideas on Shareware. In life, you'll find that saying yes is infectious. Having a can-do attitude will help you to attract like-minded people into your support network. And working as a team, there is no limit to what you can achieve with hard work or to what barriers you can overcome. Alleviating clothing poverty, a form of poverty still barely acknowledged and documented, has meant that every day for the last 8 years, Shareware has been faced with the ongoing barrier of lack of basic recognition for the importance of our work. I very much hope that this award today will go some way to breaking down that barrier. I want to encourage all of you to try to carve your own path in life and not follow the masses. Keep an open mind and, more importantly, an open heart. Carving your own path might involve doing something no one else is doing. And in today's society of playing follow the leader on social media, being innovative can be scary, and it's often a very lonely place to be. But I would say, don't be afraid. Be yourself and just go for it. I can't miss this chance today to give an extra message to the young people that are here. And the message is this: cancer need not be one of the barriers that you face in life. The early detection of cancer, made possible by science, means that diagnosis now, in the early stages, is very rarely a death sentence. It's the start of a new chapter, yes, but it's not the end of the book. But for that to be true, it means bucking the current trend of rejecting cancer screening tests. As part of your philosophy of saying yes in life, please say yes to those tests too. Carve your own path by not succumbing to peer pressure. Live your own life by potentially saving it first and foremost. And finally, I would just like to end by saying that there's an opportunity for someone in this room today to say yes to Shareware right now, as we have a Nottingham-based vacancy, a very exciting and dynamic role of operations manager. This role will take us into the next stage of our development, where we begin to break out of this region and start alleviating clothing poverty in Manchester, London, and Birmingham. No one should be pegged back from functioning, let alone flourishing in life, simply due to lack of clothing. That's one barrier that no one should have to face. Everyone has the right to the same opportunities that we have all had, and everyone should have the right to clothing. Our operations manager will help us bring that vision to life. And perhaps I'm looking up at that person right now. It could be you. Thank you all for listening, and congratulations to you all once again.
I now invite the stewards to bring forward the second group of graduands. Deputy Pro-Chancellor, the following have also qualified for awards from the School of Social Sciences. Master of Arts degree in International Relations and Security, Harrison Bryant. Master of Arts degree in Politics, Nicholas Carstairs. Curtis Ryan. Nathan Smedley. Michael Stone. Master of Arts degree in Security Studies. The next student also receives the prize for Best Security Studies Student Performance, Christopher James Orbin. Master of Science degree in Politics and Public Policy, Lloyd Matthews. The next student also receives the prize for Best Politics and Public Policy Student Performance, Harry O'Shea. Hope Thomas. The next student also receives the prize for Best Politics and Public Policy Dissertation, Daniel Tolson. Jessica Wood. Master of Science degree in Public Policy. The next student also receives the prize for Best Public Policy Student Performance, Franco Fabregas. Georgia Hewitt. Postgraduate Certificate in Social Work Practice Education, Althea Houslin. Bachelor of Arts degree with honours in Politics, Leonie Benhaumush. Bachelor of Arts degree with honours in Social Work, Jemisola Ailiara. Michelle Banjo. The next student also receives the D2N2 Teaching Partnership Social Work Academy of Excellence Award for the Best Research Project, Ryan Barber. Zoe Blackburn. Joanne Caldwell. Kundai Chimanga. Eleni Gospel. The next student also receives the D2N2 Teaching Partnership Social Work Academy of Excellence Award for the best overall student performance. Nadia Hayat. Aliyah Hussein. Deandra Jackson. Charlotte Johnson. Catherine Lewis. Claire Lomas. Ellie MacDonald. Sarah Manto. Jess Metcalf. Stembili Mujati. Anne Natali Basabi. Aisha Sadiq Hussein. Laura Shallow. Bronya Simpson. Fiona Steen. Charlotte Thompson. Sally Weeks. Bachelor of Arts degree in Social Work, Hasina Bibi. Deputy Pro-Chancellor, that concludes the presentation of awards from the School of Social Sciences and concludes the presentation of awards to graduates at this ceremony. In absentia, Deputy Pro-Chancellor, I invite you to confer degrees on those graduates who have not been presented to you in person, but who have indicated that they wish their awards to be conferred in their absence. I certify that these graduates are worthy of their degrees, and I stand as proxy. Leah Barnett Trevorrow, who earlier received a Master of Research degree in Equine Health and Welfare, will now propose the student vote of thanks.
Baroness, Pro-Vice-Chancellor, Executive Dean, distinguished guests, family, friends and fellow graduates. Thank you all for joining us in the celebration of our achievements. It is a great honour to be standing here delivering the vote of thanks speech. What a strange year that it has been for all of us. I'm sure that it is one that we won't forget for many reasons. I'd first like to acknowledge the determination and resilience of my fellow graduates. We entered into this year not knowing the challenges we would soon face with the development of the pandemic. Working from home became commonplace in the student world, as living rooms became our library for studying and coffee catch-ups became online calls. Yet, in the face of adversity, here we are today, with the hardships of trying to study in a pandemic far behind us. Despite the distance between us all, we came together to help one another when it was needed most. I'm incredibly thankful for the vibrant and generous postgraduate community that I was so lucky to be a part of, and I can't wait to see where our future takes us. However, we couldn't have done it without the guidance of the NTU teaching staff. I cannot begin to imagine how difficult it must have been adjusting to teaching online whilst also processing the confusion and chaos of the ever-changing situation. But your unwavering passion and support inspired us to continue, even when the uncertainty of our circumstances became overwhelming. You stayed positive and enthusiastic throughout, which only ignited our love for our subjects even further. Thank you for not only supporting us as students, but also being the best life mentors. Your support outside of lectures helped us feel connected and part of the NTU community. You made the difficult days seem brighter and reminded us of all what we were working towards and the difference that we could make to our field. We must, of course, offer our most heartfelt thanks to the family and friends who have provided their endless love and support throughout this year. The challenges we faced certainly weren't faced alone, and we will have a support network behind us who were an integral part of helping us with our accomplishments this year. I cannot count the number of times my parents and my partner have spent proofreading my research, and I will forever be grateful for their contributions. Please take the time today to reflect on and thank all those who may have helped you, no matter how big or small their part may have been. I know that this year has been tough, but today is dedicated to celebrating what we have gained from this year, the friends we have made along the way, and the endless possibilities of the future that lays ahead of us. So take a moment to breathe and enjoy spending time with one another. We've come so far, so just keep going. Thank you.
Class of 2021, I echo the thoughts of the Interim Pro-Vice-Chancellor of Enterprise and Knowledge Exchange by congratulating you all on your achievements and wishing you every success in the future. It's fantastic, as I think each of our speakers has said, to be able to share this day with you and your nearest and dearest in person. I can't tell you how excited I was to be able to come again to one of our ceremonies here at NTU after the awful time that we've all had in terms of only seeing each other on screen, on a small screen often. It does make a huge difference to see you all here today and to hear you. It was great when you were cheering everybody on. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to be back undertaking these ceremonies in this magnificent university hall. And I hope those of you watching in Lecture Theatre 2 and around the world can feel the pride in the hall, and I know you all share it. I would also like to acknowledge the pride we take in distinguished members of society agreeing to join our community by becoming honorary graduates. Thank you, Louise Cook, for accepting our invitation and for your insightful and inspiring words. I think everybody here will take heart at your experience and the way in which you described your determination, with support of your family, but with determination, great determination, to succeed in something that has been so important and has clearly saved many, many families from extreme hardship. I think it's a wonderful tribute to the work you've done, but also I think it's an inspiring example to everybody here. Thank you very much indeed. I'd also like to comment on Leah's wonderful student vote of thanks. We've all, I think, felt that the pandemic has been something to get through, something to try to manage as best we can, particularly when there have been so many changes in policy and practice that we've had to try to respond to and deal with. That's particularly true, of course, here at the university. But what really impressed me, Leo, was the fact that you were so quick to thank the team here, the teachers, the tutors, the staff who've been so helpful and clearly very, very supportive. And I think it's wonderful that we're able to thank them today and to say that without them, we would really not have come through this, and you would not have come through this. So not only do I want to thank all of you, but I want to thank them as well. I must say, I thought, Louise, that your job advert was really very, very, I mean, I hope somebody will respond to it. It was one of the most interesting ways of advertising a job I've come across. So there you go, there are opportunities at every turn. Students are the beating heart of our university. Your contributions didn't come just in your students and seminars and laboratories, either online or in person, but you supported each other academically and personally, often over long distances. You undertook projects that made organizations more effective. You made the Global Lounge the vibrant place that it is known to be around the world. I know that you missed some typical university experiences throughout the pandemic. We did what we could to optimize the amount of in-person teaching and to ensure the quality of our online offer during your studies. Thank you, though, for your patience and resilience in these extraordinary circumstances. However, that's also why we were so keen to hold these graduation celebrations in person. So this is the next stage of your engagement with NTU, that it could be marked in the time-honored way. And I say next stage in your engagement with NTU, although you've now graduated, you remain members of the NTU global family, a worldwide community of over 220,000 alumni. Our doors will always be open to you. You can continue to access support from us, including advice on the next steps of your career from the employability team. And you can find out a lot more about this by visiting the NTU alumni website. In time, consider how you too could help future generations of students, just as some alumni will have helped you through offering lectures and careers advice, for example. When the time comes, we encourage you to complete the Graduate Outcomes Survey. Please do complete it. It's hugely important to NTU, and it means that by doing these things, you'll be leaving an important legacy for the students of tomorrow. But that's for the future. Now is the time to enjoy your success. I invite you all to join us for celebratory refreshments in the Newton Building. Guests, please remain seated for the processional music and as the academic party and graduates leave the hall. I declare this graduation ceremony closed.
you.